Hello everyone, MeanSpeed here with another Renegade line video. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Alpha Key contest, the new shoulder pet for the Wicked side this time, and also some of my ideas and suggestions at the end that are related to either the topics in this video or just the game and the state we're at right now in regards to the game. So we now have the second Alpha Key contest, and this one is actually one I was hoping for. Which is a contest to name the map that was recently shown in the last video that Raw Vengeance showed us. And I was hoping for a contest like this because it's one that anyone can contribute to, since it doesn't require, like a highly detailed design or something like that. It's fairly easy to take part in, and it also felt appropriate to have it since the map was never given a name. So, yeah. Now, there's one key up for grabs this time only, but that's obviously because only one winning map name can be used, whereas the Crosshair contest, it had multiple winners because there were different categories and obviously different weapons and crosshairs, so that's why. If I had to give you some advice when it comes to this contest, it's just really to be unique and creative. Watch the trailer of the map back a few times, get a feel for what's on the map, what the mood is, what it's like and the theme and everything, and then just come up with ideas from there. I will say this though, which is that it's pretty hard to tell if your idea, your map name, has been suggested by someone else already, because there still isn't a search function on the forums, meaning you can't search through the thread with keywords of your idea to narrow it down, and it will be pretty time consuming to go through the as I'm looking at it now, 63 pages of ideas just to see if you have a chance. I mean, luckily, I personally only had to look for about 11 or so pages, but now, since we're a bit further into this contest, it's obviously more popular and it has more replies on it. I think it's pretty funny to see the forum, being really dead at times with not many people posting or just the same people with bits here and there. Then when a contest or free stuff is up for grabs, all of a sudden people just, come out of the woodwork and all start posting. But, this was the case with Battlefield Heroes, and I'm sure this is a common thing on most forums as well. Moving on to the shoulder pet now, and this is the one for the Wicked side. The other one was for the Resident side. Now, we don't actually know the name of it, but it's basically a cat with some interesting colours and quite a high class theme because it's got the monocle obviously, and also a rose, which is pretty nice. It seems to be a bit more serious and not as cute as the other pet, which we now know is called Munchie. But I guess it makes sense, as the teams really should have differing looks and give off different moods and feels. I really like it though, and this one, I think it also has a lot of attention to detail, and I can't wait to see them maybe in an in-game screenshot or a video showcasing them. I mean, I'm also curious as to whether they'll animate, make sounds, or even get off your shoulder at some point and do other things in gameplay. But I'm not sure what those things could be without making the pets a little bit pay to win, because if I would say, okay, you've got the pet and sometimes it'll get off your shoulder and go towards an enemy and do a bit of damage, that would be a bit pay to win because you'd have a bit of an advantage because you'd have more, more damage on an enemy. But yeah. Now, I wanted to talk for a bit about some of my ideas that I've had but never spoken about in a video. I mean, I've had about three major ideas for Renegade Line, three major suggestions. I made a video on one of them. That was the themed events. Okay, so there are two more that I've never spoken about in a video, but I have put on the forums. So I wanted to mention them here. So yeah, the first idea is regarding other future Alpha Key contests, which is obviously relevant right now. So I had a few ideas for potential Alpha Key contests, and these are what I could come up with. Aside from the map naming contest, which I did have in mind before it went live, I had other naming contest ideas, such as to name the paid currency in the game and to name the weapons in the game, since I believe both of those have been given test names or no proper names up to this point, and we haven't heard of anything else in regards to naming them. So yeah, I think it would be pretty nice for the community to be able to contribute to that like they can with this map. The other ideas I had were based around designs, so this is obviously something that isn't available to everyone because not everyone's good at designing stuff. But yeah, I still thought this was a decent idea for a contest because most games have this, where you can design your own ideas and stuff. So I had a generic weapon skin and clothing design contest, as well as themed ones. So if the alpha managed to come out either around Halloween or Christmas, there could be Halloween or Christmas design contests instead of, you know, something more open and limitless, just to suit that time of year. So obviously you could just submit your designs for a weapon skin you thought would be good in the game, or a clothing item that you thought would be appropriate or just good for a certain theme, and then developers would obviously choose. It'd probably do the same process as most of the contests. So well, okay, with the crosshair one, so basically developers chose some people and then the community started voting. But yeah, I mean, maybe even the developers could just choose. So the last contest idea I had was actually for a trivia or a quiz, where questions about the game would be asked, and to be a winner you'd basically have to get all of the answers right and then contact the Renegade Line YouTube channel, or contact a member of Raw Vengeance via private messaging with your answers. And the questions could be asked in a video or outlined in a thread on the forums, and both of those options wouldn't allow for cheating. So the thread wouldn't allow replies, so it would be locked, and the video would have YouTube comments disabled, something like that. And when I say you'd have to get all the answers right, I mean they'd have to be really hard questions, so maybe dating back to knowledge of well, Renegade Line stuff from before the website was released, before the announcement of Battlefield Heroes was going to shut down, because Renegade Line was still a thing back then and people were finding stuff out about it. Yeah, I mean, if it was difficult enough, I guess it would be fine to say only the people who got the answers right, because there wouldn't be that many people getting them right. But I mean, if the questions were quite easy, then I guess maybe the people who got the answers right could be put in sort of like a lucky dip type thing, and then a few people would be chosen out of the, you know, you'd have to be eligible and then you get chosen possibly out of a hat type thing, as a random choice. But I don't think that's a bit very fair unless the questions are really very easy. So the next suggestion of mine I want to mention is actually regarding the Kickstart, since really it can't be that far away. I mean, to be honest with you, the Kickstarter, it's going to go, when it's available, it's going to go on for a fair bit, I would have thought, for Raw Vengeance to accumulate some funding before the alpha's actually released. I'd go as far to say maybe even a month the Kickstarter should be, you know, going on until the alpha's available. So really, I mean, I'm thinking we should at least get it by next month. I'm hoping we will anyway. Just, I'm thinking in terms of how practical it'll be to release it at a certain time, before the alpha's playable, for us to actually still be in that margin of being able to play the game this year, like the developers have said many times. So yeah, this is about the Kickstarter, like I just said. Well, but yeah, we know that donating to the Kickstarter will actually give us an alpha key. I think iScratch put on the forums about something about it being $10 or something. I'm not sure what that is in euros or pounds or whatever your currency is, but yeah, I could be wrong about that. But yeah, that's one way, well, that's one thing you can get for donating, but I was thinking about basically other ways to get people to donate. So obviously there are people who they're going to donate just based on the fact that they can play the game in a certain state, I mean just because it's playable when you've got a key. But I'm thinking in terms of getting more donations in for Raw Vengeance to help fund the game better. So basically what I was thinking is rewards for really high donations. Now I'm not going to say any prices here or any certain amount, but let's just say it was quite high, something that wouldn't be like the norm for people to donate. And then based on, you know, the amount that you donate, so this high amount, there could be certain things put next to it. So I'm going to read off a few of the things I thought the Kickstarter might say. So for donating a high amount, it could say, donating this amount will allow you to contact Raw Vengeance with an item you'd like to have and it will be made for you. So, I mean, this has got to be a pretty high donation. I mean, if you're able to actually, if you're able to actually ask the developers to make something for you and it's special, you know, it's exclusive to you, and you actually asked for it and requested it, the donation has got to be pretty high. I mean, you know, to be able to have that much authority to say, right guys, I want you to be able to make this for me, because you know, I really like it. And it's got to be exclusive to me, and people know that this is mine and I asked for it. You've got to be donating a lot of money, seriously, or something considerable. So yeah, that was one option. The second one, donating this amount will allow you to request to have an item that's already in the game in a different and exclusive color. So this is not as crazy. The developers don't have to go too out of their way for this one. They just have to basically change the color of something that's already in the game, but the color would be exclusive to you, or it'd be exclusive to people who donate to the Kickstarter. So let's say there was a hat in the game, let's just say a top hat, and normally it would be black, but if you donated to the Kickstarter, you'd be able to request to have it in a different color, so maybe a gold top hat or a red one or something like that. The third one is donating this amount will allow you to receive an exclusive Kickstarter item chosen by Raw Vengeance. So this actually isn't one that you request or have power over. This is something that is quite plain and simple. So you've got this stage of the Kickstarter is alpha key. The next one is whatever else. The high one is this is an exclusive item. Raw Vengeance have made it. They've chosen it. This is what they feel is good enough for you to want to donate this high amount. It's an exclusive item. It will never be available in the game ever. It was just for the Kickstarter funding prior to the alpha stage. So yeah, I mean, basically the point of this is that there are some exclusive items that people might want to donate high to actually get, because a lot of people like to feel rare or exclusive or unique. So yeah, those are just my ideas for the Kickstarter. Now I don't know if any of these will go ahead. I hope that at least one of them does, because they all seem... I mean, I know it's stupid for me to just praise my own idea like this, but I think that if at least one of these is an option, Raw Vengeance is going to get a lot of money. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I believe they might be going with number 3, because I'm going to admit that 1 is a bit out there. 2 is not that hard, but I mean, I still think 3 is the option they're going to go with. So they might have their own items that they're going to say are exclusive to the Kickstarter, instead of this whole thing I came up with you can ask what, you know, you can tell them what you want and they'll do it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys my ideas for those two things, because they're relevant to, first of all, the contest one. Well, obviously we've got a contest right now, so it's relevant. The second one is because the Kickstarter has got to be close. I mean, it can't be too much later than this, to be honest with you, if we want to be able to play the game this year, unless the Kickstarter is going to be a very short campaign for like a couple of weeks, if that. But I really think they're going to keep it going for a while. So that's why I think we're going to get it fairly soon, and that's why I'm mentioning my ideas for it now. So yeah, guys, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.